Amazing.
Welcome everybody to the Grand Slam, the 99-second story Grand Slam number 3. As you are entering this space, make yourselves comfortable, pour yourselves a drink, invite your family and friends over, and enjoy with us for the next 90 plus minutes as you hear, arguably, Mary, arguably, not really, wink, wink, maybe the best 99-second stories on in the world.
It's true, though.
Certainly in the English speaking world.
Also a good note. Yes.
Come on.
But look at we have all these fabulous people in this round. I mean,
Ask them where they're from, perhaps.
oh, yes, where is everybody from?
Yes.
Tell us. Let us
Please
know.
let us know.
I don't know. New York City.
Nice. Are we asking them to actually tell us or chat with us?
Shall we chat it? Shall we chat it?
They are so, yeah, they will go live, won't they?
Austin, yes, Miss Linda.
Performers going to perform whenever chance they get.
Yes.
Good to have you all here, storytellers and audience. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
You will see perhaps, probably, my face through much of this evening, Sean Wellington in North Carolina, and my lovely, dynamic, there's so many adjectives I could say here. Is that Queen Mary Dalba up in Massachusetts? Hey, Mary.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited. It's gonna be a
I'm
good.
excited too.
Yes.
We keep building, right? We're building, much like a good story, even a 99 one. We've had 3 seasons. We've called them seasons. The first one was in the fall.
It was.
The second one was in the winter.
Yes. And
This
now
is
here we
the
are.
third one. I'm going to go over how this evening will be for both tellers and audience in just a moment, and include in that a couple little tweaks we've made because we're always looking to do this a little better,
Always.
a little tighter, maybe sometimes even a little fairer.
Mhm.
Mary's letting people in. We will have a nice crowd this evening from all walks. It looks like people are joining us from all over the United States and some parts of Canada, I see. Mary, check out if there's any international folks outside of Canada. They count, but not as much.
I don't see anybody yet, but
Okay.
no. No, we got some New Yorks, we got some Massachusetts, Detroit is representing Chicago.
We have up to 18. For sure, we have 16, maybe 17 or 18 storytellers that qualified to be here this evening by excelling in prior slams. It's not an accident that they're here. They've all done very well. They've all been preparing these stories. They've all prepared 2 stories because there will be 2 rounds, which I will share a little bit more about in just a moment as a few more people enter this space. Mary, can we call this space something other than like a Zoom room or a Zoom meeting? Can we make it? Let's brand this shit.
That's a great idea. The 99
What do you wanna
second
call it?
story room. Hmm.
The what?
The 99-second story room. Oh, that was a face. Wow.
The
Ooh.
story room.
You like
I'm a little edgier. I'm a little edgier than that. I think you know that. So I don't want to like kill your ideas. I mean, I'm embracing ideas. We'll build on that.
Yes. Your face killed it though. Your expression just went
My bronzed face.
your bronze face, yes.
Hey, by the way, we should ask the audience, in addition to sharing with us where you are, if you have an idea, we're spitballing here. In addition to Queen Mary's ideas, what we can call this space other than a Zoom room. I mean, because we've been doing this shit for over a year now. I mean, we've got other names.
Oh, it's coming up in the chat, my friends. You should already, Richard Munchkin already went there.
Yeah. So if you wouldn't mind, Mary, checking those out, I would love to. Yeah. I would love to get a name for it, brand it.
We can do that.
If anybody wants to volunteer their branding, website creation, marketing services et al., I always need an unpaid intern. Let me know.
Right.
I'm just playing, y'all.
Yeah.
I do need some help, though. I'm not playing.
No, that you're not playing about.
We've got 17 tellers here, I believe, and they are patient. They are waiting. All of them, Mary, will be telling at least one story in round 1. Okay?
That sounds great.
Some of them will go on to a round 2. One of them will be the winner. Because this is a grand slam. This is winner take all. When I say winner take all, just to be very clear, I'm not just talking about the glory. I'm talking about money. I'm talking about moolah. I'm talking about lettuce. I'm talking about dough. I'm talking about whatever you want, whatever other word you want to use. I haven't asked all the storytellers their motivations for doing this. I'm sure glory is a big part of it.
True.
Perhaps community challenge, but
Joy.
nobody's going to say no to money.
No, but I think it's a lot of joy of storytelling. Oh, Andrew, the boom room. Though,
That has a different connotation in my mind, but
right.
right?
I'm just saying the boom room. I mean,
yeah, we're listening. We're going to actually draw our first set of names in about 5 minutes. So you can just know right now if you need to use the bathroom,
grab a drink.
or grab a drink or let the dog out or in or whatever you want to do. And in just a moment, I'm going to go over some basics so everybody here knows how this works. Some of you know this already, so it'll be, you've heard it before.
Yes.
Made a few little tweaks. And that's that. Mary, do you have any announcements you want to make to our tellers and audience? Now we have 66. Great.
Yeah, we have 66 people. I just wish everybody good luck. I want to thank folks for being here that have joined us tonight in the audience. It's wonderful. And let's have some fun and get some good stories going.
Boom. Yeah.
Boom.
To our audience, a couple of logistical things. I am recording this and it's also on Facebook Live. And the reason I share that, I think it's fair to share that. And if you don't want your video, I'd love for you to keep your video on. I think generally speaking, it's nice that the storytellers can see, if they want to, some live faces. But you can hide yourselves if video isn't your thing. We are recording. I do typically post this at some point afterwards in a few different places. So just know that. Please use the chat function. Everyone's going to stay on mute other than the storytellers and, of course, me and Queen Mary.
Of course.
And yeah, but use the chat function to communicate. Please let the storytellers know how you feel. And then afterwards, if you'd like to, of course, we typically hang out. You can unmute, we can talk. So Mary, let me share with everybody how this is going to work.
That's a good idea.
We have a bunch of storytellers here who have all qualified, meaning they did very well at a prior slam. We have what I believe 17 right now. We have one maybe storyteller who had an emergency. I am going to pick 4 names out of this hat. You know what's coming. You know what I'm about to say about the hat, right?
Now, where's that hat from, Sean?
I'm so glad you asked that, Mary. This hat is originally from Peru.
Ooh, and it came back all the way from Peru with you. And probably
that's correct. That is correct. It came back and I've saved it for this moment. I've put all the names in the hat. For round 1, we've divided it up into 4 sections. So for section number 1, we have 4 names. I'm going to pull those names out of the hat. They're going to tell their stories. I'm going to time them.
Yes.
You, the audience, are going to decide after those 4 or maybe 5 stories per section, who you like the best. So while they're telling their stories, do whatever you need to do to jot it down. Maybe a name, maybe a number, whatever works. After they're done, Mary's going to summarize those stories. She's very good at this.
Thank you.
I didn't know this when we started working together. This is a skill that she has that few other have.
And keeps getting better, I'll tell you.
You're getting better. She will summarize for you. I will create a poll. You will vote. So there will be 4 sections in round 1. The winner of each will move on to the second round. Queen Mary has a vote. Her own vote. She put someone through. And Steph Rogers, if you want to unmute real quick, Steph, and say hello. You here?
I am here. I'm so sorry. Hello.
No, it's okay. Steph Rogers and I, who were doing a lot of work in the 99-second story sphere, let's call it that. She also has a vote this evening. I, Sean, do not. I'm out of it. You're upset? Get angry at Mary. Get angry at Steph. I'm out of it. Don't get pissed at me. Like I told you earlier, they just hired me for my looks. And smile. So that'll be 6 people in the second round. It will make sense as we go move forward. At 80 seconds, this is just for our tellers, but so you know in the audience, the tellers see this. That means they need to wrap it up within about 20 seconds. The only reason a storyteller is officially disqualified is if they go over time. They've all been warned. Now, I will say this. These stories are supposed to be true. They're supposed to be personal. And they're supposed to be stories. And ideally not being read from notes. So I see Arlene is here. Good. Arlene. So what that means is if you think that somebody is reading if you think it's a work of fiction, if you think it's an amazingly true rap or spoken word piece and it doesn't quite fit what we're doing here, I would ask that you don't vote for them, even if it's your friend. All right. So this was be true stories, personal stories, no notes. And if they go over time, unfortunately, sadly, almost tragically, you might say, Mary, yes? Tragically.
Tragically.
We'll have to
Yes,
say you are not moving forward. I believe I've covered everything. Did I, Mary? Mary, did I leave anything of importance out? Now, for everybody else, Steph and I are going to be offering, I'll talk more about this at the break, a 99-second story workshop. Should I say it again? What? And everybody here, if you want, and I'll go more into this at the break, you will send your name, not now, to Steph, and she's going to sort of mix the names up and pick a name out, and they're going to come to the class for free.
For free.
That's how we roll, right?
We're going to practice 99s. It's practice 99s. 99s, 99s, and more 99s.
Yes. So that's what we're going to do. But we'll talk more about that in a moment. It's 7:11. I believe it's time to start.
Time to roll.
Everybody is here. Any urgent matters, please unmute and ask us right now. We're about to start our Grand Slam number 3.
Woo!
I feel like it's the WWF in the mid 80s.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
Remember that? Hulk Hogan and Roddy Robert? Yeah.
Mhm.
Malinowski is here. She just misread.
No problem. Malinowski's here. We have 4 rounds. Excuse me, 4 sections in round 1. Our second section will be the 5 spot. All right. Don't worry about it. I'm calling out 4 names right now. These will be our first 4 tellers, section number 1. And the order in which I reveal them will be the order that they tell. Is that fair, Mary?
It's extremely fair.
Because more than anything else, that's what I want.
That's part of what we do.
I'll be honest with you. I'm getting a little tired of being hired for my looks. I want people to understand that there's some substance here.
And a Peruvian hat.
There's something more. I've got 4 names. Here we go. And the names are Jamie Brickhouse, Howard Lieberman, Mark Modrall, Victoria Tori Shineman. So again, number 1, Jamie. Number 2, Howard. Number 3, Mark.
I'm number 1, Mike.
Number 1.
Yep. All right.
Michael.
So everybody should be muted other than Jamie Brickhouse. We are going to spotlight him. Jamie, take your time. You know the drill and have some fun, sir.
All right. Can you hear me? You can hear me. Okay.
Yes.
In first grade, my best friend Eric and I loved playing Bewitched, that sitcom about a beautiful blonde witch, Samantha, married to a mortal, and her meddlesome drag queen of a mother, Endora. I always was Samantha. Eric was so homosexually advanced, he played Endora. In the evenings, we'd have long telephone conversations, which I always ended the same way. Well, let me let you go, which is how my mother ended her phone conversations. It's a Southern way of dropping someone. Now, Mrs. Chambers, our teacher, adored me, and I adored her too. And one day she said to me, Jamie, do you know what a sissy is? I think so. Well, Eric might be one. And other boys might think you're one too if you hang around him too much. Maybe you should take a little break from him for a while. After that, every time he came over to play, I kept making up lame excuses. And the last time I saw him, he didn't protest. He just said, okay. To break the awkward moment, I said the only thing I could think of. Well, let me let you go. When I hit junior high, I had an epiphany. He was a sissy. And you know what? So am I. I rode over to his place and I rang the doorbell. A strange man answered, and he told me that Eric had moved to Oklahoma. I was too late. And I would never have the chance to tell him I'm sorry for the last words I said to him. Well, let me let you go. Boom.
Thank you, Jamie Brickhouse.
Thank you.
Yes. Some people might be thinking, why in the world would he end that lovely story with the word boom? Well, it's somehow, some people just end their stories that way. It's something we do here. It's one way to signal. That's one way to signal to us that it's over. You don't have to do that. You could just stop talking. You could say thanks. You could say I'm done or nothing. Jamie Brickhouse, Mary, what do you think leading us off?
I think it was a strong lead off. We've got so many more storytellers to go though. So
many good storytellers, so many stories
Yep.
from all over. Jamie's in New York. Our next storyteller, we will find, when I say we, I mean you, please. Howard Lieberman is up in Minnesota. He's our second storyteller of the Grand Slam 3. Have we found Mr. Howard?
got him.
Awesome. Howard, have some fun. Take your time.
If I glance down at my phone, I'm not reading. I have a timer, and I've been known to run long.
Start soon.
I'm staring down the barrel of a 22 lever action Winchester rifle with a bent scope. And I'm looking down that rifle, and I'm seeing a red Jeep Wrangler driving towards me over a back road in Vermont. I know the man driving is a right-wing provocateur because he came by and shot up our house one day, our radical, political, armed collective. And that's why I'm in the woods. I'm doing target practice, so when the revolution comes, I can kill people like him. And I'm looking down that barrel, and there's a little oily guy standing with me who also has a gun, and he's yelling, "Shoot him, shoot him, kill him before he kills us." I freeze. I can't breathe. I don't want to kill him. So he comes over, grabs his gun, and bashes me over the head till I bleed. And I look around and the little oily guy is gone, but I didn't kill him. And I realize then I'm not a fucking armed revolutionary. Bam, boom, bam.
Bam and boom. Mary, love it. Thanks, Howard. Howard Lieberman's up in the Minneapolis area. So we've already covered 2 time zones here
Amazing.
in a very short period of time.
We're traveling around.
First 2 tellers had glasses, irrelevant, just noticing things I'm observing. Yeah. That's it. By the way, Mary Dalba's up in Massachusetts. I don't know if I shared that with you. Steph Rogers is in Chicago. They matter. Yes.
Yes, of course. So do you, Sean. So do you.
Yeah.
Our fearless leader.
It should be noted before we move on to storyteller number 3, who was Mark in Massachusetts, that both Steph and Mary have great teeth. Just let us real quick. There you go. All right. That's an awkward moment. Mark, where are you? Let's make this less awkward. All right, Mark, I'm spotlighting you. You are storyteller number 3. Whenever you are ready, we are ready for you.
Okay, great. Thank you. 1996, my first solo apartment. I can finally get my own pet. I've always wanted a polydactyl Maine Coon, and I found this shelter that had 2 litters of stray kittens and 1 polydactyl Maine Coon. I went to pick her up, and this little ball of fluff was so small she could fit in the palm of my hand. And the shelter lady, she said, if she's going to spend all day at home, you better get 2. I was like, okay, another ball of fluff, Elf and Felicity. Elf saved my life in 1998. She got me to go to the hospital before it was time for me to die. Felicity died of leukemia in 2010. She was always fat, but you can't put one cat on a diet. So when she started losing weight, by the time I realized that cats don't sweat bikini season, it was too late. Elf had a stroke in 2015. Spent a week sleeping on the floor in the living room, carrying her to the litter box and then carrying her to the food bowl, hoping against hope that she would acclimate. And then I'd wake up at 3 a.m. and I'd find her in the corner, bouncing off the walls like a broken Roomba. It was only a week to let go. If you can just go to a pet store after that, you're just not doing it right. Boom.
Thank you, Mark in Massachusetts. All right, Mary. So we had Jamie and Howard and Mark. All right, we're going back and forth. We're going around the country. Now we're going in between Minnesota and New York and Massachusetts to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Our fourth of 4 storytellers in section 1. We will find her, Tori Shine. She will take her time, invariably shine, and I will not try to make any more rhymes from that. Where is
It
she?
went well though.
Have we found her?
I'm looking. I'm looking.
Okay.
I'm
It
looking.
might help if she says something.
Hi, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Got there. All right.
You're good now. All right, cool. Take your time, Tori.
So my big brother Waylon finds an old pack of birth control pills. And he says, Tori, let's play a prank on Dad and try to convince him that these are your birth control pills. I'm 12 years old. I have my first boyfriend, Lucas. And I'm still 2 years away from my first kiss, but my dad doesn't necessarily know that, right? But up until now, I have been the victim of my brother's practical jokes. But today, he is inviting me to be his accomplice. This is a game changer. My brother and I collaborate all day long. We decide we want my dad to come across the birth control pills naturally, as if by chance. We rehearse for hours. Showtime. I enter my dad's office on a decoy mission. Hey, Dad, I need you to sign this permission slip for school. Oh, but where is it? And I start rummaging through my bag. And I pull out a diary, some lip gloss, a pack of birth control pills. Oh, here's the permission slip. He takes the bait. What are these? Well, Dad, those are my birth control pills. Oh, come on, Tori. I know you're not on birth control. Dad, Lucas and I have been going out for like 2 months. Welcome to the 90s. My dad is furious. But when I look at my brother's face and I see that grin, I know I did good. And our work here has just begun. Boom.
All right, thank you, Tori in Pittsburgh. Mary, I've got some very, very good news.
Yes.
You know what it is, right?
That no one went over time.
That is correct. Nobody went over the allotted time. It will be up to our audience in just a moment to vote for your winner. Now, just to remind you, the top vote getters of each section, and this is section 1, we'll move on to round 2. And then we'll have 2 additional tellers, one put through by Mary, the other by Steph. And I'm reminding people that just so that they don't get upset with me. Fair?
But that's okay. Hang me and stuff out right out there. That's fine.
Exactly. Would you please summarize these for our voting audience so we can take care of our first poll?
Sure. So Jamie listened to his teacher, Mrs. Chambers, and lost a friendship with his friend Eric. Well, and of course, well, let me let you go wasn't the thing to say. Howard realized he wasn't a fucking armed revolutionist after being in the woods in Vermont trying to make sure that him and his family were safe. Mark says if you can go to the pet store after having the love of animals, especially his 2, Elf and Felicity, you are not doing it right. And Tori, sibling practical jokes are always the way to go, as her and her brother pulled a practical joke on her dad.
All right. So, Mary, would you do me a favor? I just want to be really clear here.
Yep.
Give me a couple of keywords for Jamie's story. I think the other ones I'm good.
Friend Eric, friendship.
All right.
Bewitched.
All right. I'm good. I just want to make sure. I know everyone heard these stories. This is a good opportunity real quick to say, if you didn't hear all the stories, maybe don't vote because you want to be able to hear all the stories to vote fairly. And look, if your best friend's here, I don't think anything I'm going to say will change your voting for your best friend. I get that. But just a reminder, friendly, smiley, nice, vote for the story, your favorite story. I'm just going to encourage you to do that. All right, let me launch this poll in just a moment. I have to just tweak one thing. Excuse any typos. And we will be off. We will be ready. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Launch that poll. Launch.
I always get very nervous in this situation, right?
You do?
Yeah, like if the tech fails, we're done. We're doomed. But it worked. Jamie, Howard, Mark, and Tori. 72 people are here. minus 3 judges, me, yeah, 69 can vote. We want 69 people voting now. That includes you tellers, which means if you just told a story, you know, yeah, vote for yourself. Why wouldn't you?
Right?
All right, we have got a close friggin' race here. Wow.
We sure
Everyone needs to vote. Super close. Super close.
And we're not relying. It really is super close. We're not just saying that.
No, we're not. It's not always super close. We do have a winner, I believe. Yeah, let's leave it open for another like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, at some point people have to vote. If they're in the bathroom for 2 minutes, they don't get to vote this round. What are we going to tell you?
No,
Right?
it's true.
We have 10 more people who could vote. So please do. Other than you, Steph, you're not voting. You have a different kind of vote this evening.
Yeah.
But just for anyone out there who wants to put an event together, whether it's on Zoom or not, if you're going to have an event, especially when you're taking any kind of money and then you plan a trip in the days prior to that event and your trip ends the day of the event and you plan on getting back like 20 minutes before the event starts, you probably shouldn't do that.
Did you make the event? Yes, you did.
Probably get back earlier so you don't freak yourself out. All right, let us close this poll. Thank you all. Almost everyone voted, and that's just better when that happens that way, isn't it?
It really is.
Right?
Makes it exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. We're
That's
looking for excitement here.
We are.
All right. So as we said earlier, we stated this that section 2, excuse me, will have 5 names. It will be the only one with 5. So arguably or mathematically, it's a little bit more challenging, but the names are being picked randomly out of this hat from
Peru.
So I'm just taking names out here, right? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 names. Just want everyone to see, there's no sleight of hand here, Mary. I'm not a freaking magician.
No. That
All
is
right.
not one of your talents.
2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to just flip them over and it's going to go 1 through 5.
Got
Now, if the person isn't here, and they should be here, then we will let them go another time. I don't want to punish, but they should be here. So when I say your name, you know the order. Number 1 will be Chetter. Number 2 will be Shweta. Number 3 will be Nadia. Number 4 will be Richard. Number 5 will be Christel. I forget that this is a Grand Slam, and everybody's good. Not to suggest in our other slams, not everybody's really good, but everybody's good. Really, really, really good. Right?
It's true. No, everybody's really good. This is, it's tough. I can see how people have to wait a minute to vote because it's tough to vote for something.
Yeah, fair. And remember, I'll talk more about this thing that Steph and I are offering. We'll do this after round 1, but just give some thought. If you want a free workshop, fun. I'll ask for your name in about, 20, 30 minutes, and just you'll send your name to Steph and it'll be great, right?
It'll be amazing.
I have an idea. Why don't I stop talking and let Chetter go?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea too.
Cool. Yeah, find Chetter. Let's have him go. Chetter is starting off section number 2.
Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir.
I was a late bloomer and didn't have my first serious relationship, sexual or otherwise, until I was a junior in college, and it was with a preacher's daughter. We dated a couple of years before finally separating after graduation, and I took a break from love and romance. But about 2 years into my self-imposed sexual sabbatical, a brother was ready to get his groove on, and oh, did I do it in a major way. Now, what I failed to find out in my sabbatical is that I'd be more interested in preachers in biblical proportions than I would be their daughters. But because I'm a guy who likes consistency, I kept it in the cloth and dated another preacher's daughter. But this time I stepped up my game and found myself in a May-December romance with a cougar who had 6 children and 3 baby daddies. And guess who was lined up to be baby daddy number 4? Me. But not just that. She was a pathological liar and crooked as a $3 bill. She lied so much, she could probably teach Congress a lesson on filibustering. But probably one of the biggest lies she told me is that she was a John Casablanca model. Yet to this day, I've seen no proof of that fact. Well, lies and deception is ultimately what led us to the demise of our relationship. You see, I found out that, there was another rooster in the hen house. And as you well know, with 2 roosters in the hen house, there's going to be a great big cockfight. Boom.
Just as I was putting up the 80-second warning, Mary, so Chetter is under time. He chose to tell us a tight story like everybody's doing. You don't need to use all the 99. You don't need to.
No.
Right?
Nope.
You know, it should be known. I want to just say this. Steph Rogers, who's here, I've called her out a few times, said her name. She started this a couple of years ago. It was in a live show. It was like a video submission thing, and it was 90. And then I kind of borrowed it and tweaked it a little bit and made it a live thing, and it's all good, right? Like me and her are like siblings who fight a lot. I don't know who's the older one. She's older by a little bit. Anyway, so but hey, we've made this thing and it's fun, and people are writing great stories and telling great stories and good shit too, right?
Amazing.
Not just like, hey, I went to the park and you never believe they repainted the seesaw a different color. Nothing wrong with that story. People are sharing some serious stuff here, interesting stuff, heartfelt stuff, shocking stuff sometimes.
Tight, you know, just having a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Exactly. Stories.
Stories.
Not rants, not, they qualify as stories. They're just doing it in this new way, which is great.
They get better and better.
They get better and better. So Steph and Queen Mary, you know that you'll be putting one person through each.
Yes.
You're doing what you need to do to write down or whatever your system is.
Yes.
I know I would not want to be in your shoes, and that is the reason why I'm not in your shoes.
We're not playing favorites, and we're just being neutral.
Of course. I just wouldn't want to be the person who has to decide on this. Is very, very competitive. And there's so much talent, and the stories are so damn good. So next up, from another Massachusettsian, that's a word. Her name is Shweta, and we'll find her, we'll spotlight her, and then I'll stop talking.
Hello, hello.
Hey, hey, whenever you're ready.
All right. I was looking down at my phone and I was recounting all the times they called and I picked up. I love college. I don't want to come home. While forgetting the amount of consecutive days I only allowed myself a black coffee with 100-calorie fiber 1 bar. The days I only sustained on 160-calorie pita, a teaspoon of hummus, and some cucumbers, even though I was going to dance 3 to 4 hours that day. See, I was trying to become invisible, and I knew at 5'7" that was impossible. So I tried to get thinner because I thought if I got thinner, then people would look, there would be less of me to look at without appreciation, less of me to treat without respect, less of me to touch without consent. I thought by becoming invisible, there would be less of me to be disappointed by. They would call and I'd pick up, I'm doing okay. I miss you though. I would say as I witnessed my chest sink into my ribs, I wasn't okay. I needed help. So today, I called and they picked up. Mom, Dad, I need to come home. Boom.
Thank you, Shweta. All right, Mary Jo. Oh, God, I have to Mary, Queen Mary. I just called you Mary Jo Pollock, who's awesome, by the way.
She was also a queen in her own right. Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Good luck trying to tell her she's not a queen. I promise you. She earned that role.
She's totally queen. Absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There she is. She's chiming in on the chat, but of course.
Of course.
But in this particular event, it is you, Queen Mary, who is filling the role of the queen.
I'm the queen tonight. Yes.
So section number 2, we had Chetter, we had Shweta, we went from Atlanta, Georgia to somewhere in the greater Boston area. Now we're going to Chicagoland. Right. I didn't come up with that cute thing. That's been out there a little while, Chicagoland. And we're going to go to Nadia. So if we can find Nadia.
I can find her.
Nadia, whenever you're ready, we'll start. No rush. Take your time. Have some fun.
Okay. Ma'am, I need you to come back into the store right now. Is he talking to me? I just finished paying for my groceries at Whole Foods and I'm already in a rush. And now this, what does he want? As I reluctantly turn around and walk back into Whole Foods, I notice that the man is wearing a security uniform. Man, I've been watching you on camera and I saw that you stashed something in the back pocket of your jeans. What? Wait, no, I didn't stash anything. I touched the back pocket, and indeed, there's a small tin box of cough drops. Oh gosh, I put that there because my arms can only carry that much. And then I forgot about it. The security officer takes me to the back of the store, asks for my ID and more personal information. What do you do for work? What, you a teacher? I wouldn't want my kids to be taught by a thief. I can't believe he called me that. Heavy with shame, I tried to explain that was just an accident, a mistake, and no, I'm not a thief. To which he replies, well, I caught you leaving the store with unpaid merchandise. That's called a thief. A picture of me is taken, a picture that will be sent to all the Whole Food stores in Illinois. And it would be on display at every store for the next 10 years, because this is what happens to thieves. Boom.
Thank you, Nadia in Chicagoland. Mary, we got these stories from these tellers. They're all coming in under time, which is great because I don't want to be the guy to have to say sorry. You went over. Your Queen Mary won't be summarizing your story for everyone to vote on.
We don't want that.
Am I right?
No, I agree. I wouldn't want that. I mean, listen, they work so hard on these stories. We shouldn't lose out because you went over. I mean,
I went to the beach. I have a little golden hue. You don't want it to be screwed up by red blushing and
right. It's true.
Hives of yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is the inevitable. I don't know what that word means. We're going out to Vegas. You always got to make at least one pit stop to Vegas. To Mr. Richard Munchkin. Mary, if you would spotlight Richard.
Do that.
And take your time, Richard.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Indeed.
Her name was Joanne. I was young and naive, and she was older, and she had seen a thing or two. And I noticed right away that when it was time for bed, she would not take her clothes off in front of me. And I thought, well, maybe she has body issues. I have my own issues to deal with, so that's fine. And one day as we were embracing, I felt something on her back, and she recoiled right away, and she told me that she had a scar, and it was from a burn, and she hated for anyone to see it. And I was like, that's fine. I don't need to see it. But one night after we had made love, the blinds were open, and the moonlight was coming in. And she was lying naked on her stomach, and the sheet was down around her waist, and she never slept that way. And I took that as maybe permission from her to look, which I did, and I saw the burn. And I was immediately enraged because I knew this had come from her father, and I don't care that he's an alcoholic, and I don't care that she had been a kid and had done something that had pissed him off. She was his daughter. But then I was incredibly sad because I knew she had been carrying this guilt and shame like her whole life over this. But that night, sitting in the moonlight in bed, I lost my innocence as I looked at that burn and the perfect imprint of a steam iron. Boom.
Thank you, Mr. Richard Munchkin. In Las Vegas, Mary, that is 4 of 5 storytellers for section number 2. First section we had 4. This section we do have 5. There is one more.
Yes.
And wow, huh?
Just amazing.
I would not, as much as I enjoy voting, and I do, I wouldn't want to be voting in this one. They're too damn good. All of these stories are so strong.
Just amazing.
And I always say this, I don't need to apologize on anyone's behalf, but I do feel a little bad that someone prepares and they have this great story and they're not, and some of them aren't going to go through. They're just not. Now, will they stay and cheer on everyone else and vote? Of course they will.
Of course they will.
That's the type of space we've created. It's
absolutely.
I don't know if it's called the boom room or the, we don't know what it's called exactly, but.
You know what? I think the boom room's going to stick though. Thanks, Andrew.
Is that Andrews? Okay.
Yeah, that was Andrews.
Yes. Okay. Final storyteller of this section, then assuming everyone is under time, Mary will summarize is Christel. She is she is our lone international competitor. She is north of the border in the great country of Canada. So if we find Christel, you can highlight and boom, whenever you're ready, Christel.
Okay, I'm just going to pin you, Sean. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
It's Friday afternoon at 12:38 p.m. I know it's 12:38 exactly because every Friday for the past 10 years, I've been teaching a comedy class at a college from 9:30 till 12:30. And if I can finish my class at exactly 12:30, if no student needs to talk to me, I can quickly clean the studio, be out the door, lock it, go down the 2 flights of stairs and be in my car and pull out of the parking lot at 12:38 p.m. Every Friday at 12:38 p.m., I call my mom. I call my mom every day, sometimes twice a day, but every Friday at 12:38. Siri, call mom, I command into my phone, but it's neglected because in that exact moment, my dad is calling me. My dad never calls me. Hi, Dad, as I make a left turn onto Kipling. Hi, Chrissy. My dad is the only person in the world who refers to me as Chrissy. Your mom's been in an accident. I want to pull over, but I'm in a 1 lane of traffic and there's no hard shoulder. She was skiing and someone rammed into her from behind. She went flying. She's pretty out of it. They think she fractured her pelvis. They're going to have to transfer her to another hospital. I don't know much more. And oh, there's a nurse that wants to speak to me. Call you back. Love you. He hangs up the phone and I'm left speechless and shocked and tears start streaming down my face. How could this happen? My mother is an exceptional skier. My mother is the person who looks after everyone. And at 67 years of age, I think that my mother is immortal. I accelerate onto the freeway and I call my husband, David. He's just as upset, but he tells me to get home safe. And as I hang up, I selfishly think, will my husband and I be able to go on our holiday and lie on a beach in 14 hours? My mother lies in the hospital. The pandemic hits 10 days later. Boom.
All right, Christel, thank you for that. Queen Mary, read them out.
All right.
I mean, I wasn't doing a good job with this particular poll, so I'm going to be listening carefully.
Okay.
Exactly what you say to make this poll very clear for everybody.
Okay. So Chetter mentioned that 2 roosters in the hen house causes a cockfight, and his girlfriend was crooked as a $3 bill. Shweta loved college and didn't want to go home, but she realized as less of her kept showing up, she called home to go home. Nadia is hanging in Whole Foods for stealing some cough drops, supposedly, which she didn't. Richard was upset at seeing his girlfriend's scar and knowing that she was carrying that more than just the scar. She was carrying the guilt and shame from it. And Christel, 12:38 in the afternoon, changed her life one day when she found out her mom was not immortal.
All right, I am finishing up this poll. Like I said, for the first poll, wouldn't want to be a voter. In this particular case, I'm not.
Right.
Hope I've done a good job of at least doing justice to these stories with only a couple of words. It is not easy. By the way, Mary, great job.
I know. Can we just acknowledge how awesome Mary is for another?
Thank you.
She's great. Yeah. Always great, though. Maybe I take it for granted.
You do.
Such a good. Thank you, Steph, for calling me up publicly. She does a wonderful job, always.
Thank you.
Summarizing, among other things that I've asked her to do, and she's a great teammate. So thank you for that. All right, let's rock this poll.
All right, let's do it.
Again,
vote.
we have got, this is section 2, 5, Chetter, Shweta, Nadia, Richard, Christel. Let's launch it.
Let's do it.
Jeez Louise.
And out of the gate they go.
Let's get more people. Oh, yeah. We have got 7 more people who could vote. Let's wait.
Yep.
Let's give it another 10 to 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is exceptionally close.
I mean, ridiculously close.
exceptionally close. So I'm going to give it a little bit more because there are a few people who haven't voted. Wow. And that's it.
That's it.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah. Huh. I'm looking at the poll, y'all, just not playing games, not trying to be unnecessarily dramatic here.
No, it was so close.
Ridiculous. All right. And I'm ending it. All right, I ended it. Cool. Wow. That was ridiculous. I don't want to be, I don't know how to make it any fairer, Mary. I'm trying.
I know.
What do you do when you have so many good tellers and so many good stories and it's a competition?
It is. It's incredible. It's so incredible. And I understand how hard, I mean, it's so hard because there's every story, it's like, you know, here's another one that's amazing. Here's another one that's amazing. It's, you know, no one comes in with bad stories. This group's ready to go and win.
Indeed. All right, let's go on to section 3. We got to keep it moving, right? We do have to keep it moving. So that is what we are going to do. Section 3 will have 4 storytellers with another 4 99-second-ish stories. And let us start that. Let me just pick those names and they will know who they are, right?
That's right.
You'll keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Steph is over there jotting notes down because she's going to put her storyteller through as well. And I picked so here's 4 more names, and in no particular order. It's random, for better or worse. It's random.
It's random.
Andrew, he's up in Massachusetts. Kate, she's out in Illinois. James, also in Illinois. And Tracey is in New York. So we're all over the place. We're moving time zones here, right?
Woot.
All right. So when you're ready, Mary, I'm ready. We'll find Andrew Shelffo. We'll spotlight him, and he'll take his time and tell us a story.
Oh, there he is.
I want to thank everybody thus far. We've got 78 people in here, so appreciate you coming. Andrew, whenever you're ready.
All right, let's start my timer. I don't understand what I'm looking at. I mean, I know what it is. I just don't understand it. It's a picture that my 12-year-old son has drawn of our neighborhood, and all the houses are on fire. His therapist explains that depictions of such violence could be the indication of serious mental illness. It's just a picture, right? Unlikely, she says. And she reminds me of how he punched holes in his wall. And she reminds me of how he stabbed holes into his mattress with his pocket knife. It's a disturbing pattern, she says. He needs help. The sting without a diagnosis has been growing in him for a long time, but now suddenly things are moving much too fast. The closest hospital with a bed for an adolescent psychiatric patient is 3 hours away, and he has to ride there in the ambulance by himself as per insurance company regulations. I drive behind him and I can see him through the mirror in the ambulance, and he's sitting there stone-faced. They euphemistically call this hospital a retreat, but it gives off a serious one flew over the cuckoo's nest vibe. Institutional as fuck. It was a 3-hour ride into an unknown universe. My heart is crumbling, and I try to put on a brave face as he says to me, "Dad, please don't leave me here, please." And tears are streaming down his face, and I don't want to leave him here, but I have to. And as I sob in the parking lot, I'm afraid that things will get better, but no matter what, neither of us will ever fully heal. Boom.
Thank you, Andrew. That is Andrew Shelffo. I've said it before, something about Massachusetts and Chicago seem to have a lot of storytellers. They're involved in it. They like it. They do it. They show up. They practice. They tell. You know?
They do. I mean, they're just, you know, they excel. But, you know, other parts of the country do too.
Yeah. And by the way, if anybody knows me, I'm not much of a smoke ass blower. Does that make sense what I just said?
Well, that's new.
Right. I don't blow a lot of smoke up people's asses. So when I say these are incredible, I mean it. They really are.
They are.
They're really, really solid stories. So,
yeah.
Let's keep moving forward. Our next 2 storytellers are both, I believe, in the Chicago area. Next up is Kate. Let's find Kate.
Here.
And we'll spotlight her and take your time.
Okay. Let me know when you want me to start.
I am ready when you're ready.
Okay, ready.
Cool.
I hadn't seen my mother in 40 years, not since her unexpected diagnosis of acute leukemia, after which she only lived a month. And one day, I get a text from my sister with a link to a video of an old home movie from our childhood in the 60s, which makes no sense because we didn't have an 8mm Kodak Brownie camera. But one of our cousins had an old family movie that we were in, and she sent my sister a digitized copy. I opened the link, and it's a grainy film of a Christmas party with all these family members. And there she is, my beautiful mother, who I haven't seen so much as twitch a muscle since 1977. And she's animated. She's moving. She's talking and laughing and sipping coffee. And it's like she's alive. And I'm shocked and breathless. And for a moment out of my body, looking at my mom back in her body. But the movie is short and it's ending. And I don't want it to end. And I feel like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz when she's captured and she sees Annie M in the big crystal ball. And I just want to say, Mom, it's me. I'm here. I'm okay. I actually got married. Wait, don't leave. Boom.
Thank you, Kate. Kate's in Chicago, Mary. I told you there's something about Chicago. So that's what Steph is too, by the way.
Yes.
A big city, you know, it's naturally a big city, New York, LA, Chicago, but hey. All right, so that's we've had Andrew and Kate in section 3 of round 1. We're moving along here. We're making good time. We're respecting people's time. We appreciate everybody who's here, tellers and all the audience members who are here. Appreciate that very much.
You keep it
Next
moving
up-
well, Sean. You do.
What's that?
You keep it moving well.
Trying the best I can, right? Trying to
do.
move it.
Yeah.
You know, sure. Do I talk too much sometimes? Hell yeah, I do. So I'm going to stop right now and introduce James. James, who I don't know, might be a neighbor of Kate. He might be like 3 doors down. I know he's in Chicago. James, whenever you're ready, we're ready for you.
Okay. For my 70th birthday, I accepted an invitation to ride motorcycles in the Himalayas. It was monsoon season. On the second day, I lost control of the bike and got thrown down a very steep embankment. I managed to stop myself by grabbing a bush 10 feet from the edge of a cliff and a 100-foot drop into a raging river. I was banged up, but I thought I could ride and did for the next 3 days. Then I woke up one morning and realized I did not have the strength to hold a motorcycle upright. I thought it was altitude sickness. We were at 17,000 feet. There was rumor of a hospital in the next town. I held out, I checked in. The waiting room was full of families. I could not take my eyes off this little boy who had this t-shirt. I got called in. An x-ray revealed that I had broken 5 ribs. I had a collapsed lung and a chest full of blood. The doctor stuck a pointed tube into my chest and drained out 2 pints of blood. I was medevaced out 2 days later to a modern hospital in New Delhi, and 2 weeks after that was allowed to fly home. And I think that the only purpose of that trip was to show me that little boy with his t-shirt. It said, mistakes sometimes make the best stories. Boom.
Thank you, Mr. James. Mary, what I'm doing after people are done, they say boom, I'm like, thanks, because I don't want to sway anybody's opinion or any undue influence here.
I'm with you.
Right? I don't. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you doing this. Great job. Let's move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, fair.
Yeah, it's hard not to comment, but I'm with you. We can't.
I want to, but I can't. But we can afterwards if people want to hang out.
Yeah,
Just a
totally.
reminder, like after we're done, after the Grand Slam champion is named, we'll hang out a little bit. So it's up to you. No pressure, but it's an open invite.
Yeah.
Final storyteller of section number 3, round 1, is Tracey. Tracey lives in Queens, New York. There's a little history there. I know Queens pretty well myself. Let's find Tracey and spotlight her.
All right.
Hello.
Hey, Tracey.
Hello, Miss Tracey.
All right, Tracey, whenever you're ready.
Our car was spinning out of control from the SUV that had just hit us, and I was screaming. And when the car came to a stop, there was blood everywhere. And I thought one of us could die right here, right now. But it didn't take long to figure out that all that blood, our only injury was my thumb, which was hanging in a meaty pulp perpendicular to my hand. And the ambulance came and took us to the hospital. No lights and sirens. It wasn't even an emergency. And a surgeon stitched me up and referred me to a specialist for follow-up appointments. And he said, don't let it get wet or dirty until the stitches come out in 3 weeks. And I thought 3 weeks without my right hand, my dominant hand. It wasn't just the inconvenience of not being able to tie my shoes or cook or type for 3 weeks. I had lost most of my vision to a neurological disorder 10 years before, and my hands were how I saw. And without my right hand, I was blind all over again, and I couldn't wait to get it back. But when the stitches came out in 3 weeks, my thumb didn't work, and I was referred to 6 weeks of physical therapy. And I thought, not another 6 weeks without my hand. And the physical therapist handed me a ball, and he said, see if you can put your thumb on this ball. And I couldn't. And all at once, it hit me, the seriousness of this injury. And with fear in my heart, I looked at him and I said, it's going to be a lot longer than 6 weeks, isn't it? And he looked at me gravely and said, mm-hmm. Boom.
Thank you, Tracey. All right, Mary, good news. You have what's the word I'm looking for here?
Privilege.
I don't have what?
Privilege, joy, excitement.
Indeed. So would you please summarize again, you know what's happening, Mary?
What's happening?
Because I'm timing people, right?
Right.
Normally I'd be blurbing myself. I'm listening to the stories and I'm writing a couple notes down. But for the Grand Slam here this evening, I'm kind of riveted by these stories.
Yeah.
Not to suggest I'm not normally, but less so. I'll be frank. I can't do it. I'm leaning on you like everybody else is right now for these summaries so I can make a poll that works. Here we go.
All right. After a 3-hour ride with Andrew's 12-year-old son to a place that he didn't want to leave him, he said things will get better, but neither one of us will actually heal. Kate hadn't seen her mom in 40 years, but a home video brought her back to life and gave Kate the time to connect with her. James, on his 70th birthday, rode a motorcycle and almost lost his life, but realized that he was supposed to see a child's t-shirt that said, mistakes sometimes make the best stories. And Tracey, the way that she saw was through her hands, and an accident caused her to not see the way that she usually did.
All right. I, again, will do my very best to take that, put a couple of keywords in, so to speak, of each story. And I hope with that, and obviously everyone heard the stories, and that's a fair way for people to vote. So I'm going to save that. You don't need to know the inner workings of Zoom, and we're going to launch this poll. Again, these are section 3. We've got 4 storytellers, Andrew, Kate, James, and Tracey. Let's launch it, and 75 people can vote. Let's do it.
Do it, do it, do it.
All right, coming in. Oh dear, another really close one.
Mm-hmm. Every vote counts on this guy, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
It is neck and neck.
All right, we've got, let's give it another 10 seconds. I think 3 or 4 more people could vote. Not everyone, you don't have to vote, right?
No.
I mean, no one's telling you have to vote.
Yeah, you don't have to.
You know, you're here. You want to be more passive, that's cool. But hey, it could make a difference. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it might be too hard, you know?
Sometimes you just can't choose.
You just can't.
5 more seconds. We got a couple more people, and let's close it. We're good?
Looks good.
All right, good. So now this is section 4, the last of 4 sections in round 1. After this, we are going to take a break. This will be an opportunity to refresh your beverage, go to the bathroom, play with your dog. But it's also, by the way, yes, Mary?
You can show your dog on screen, please. Just FYI.
That is a request by Mary. I second that. You can show your dog on screen in this break.
Or
It
cat.
will also be the time that I will share a little bit more about the 99-second workshop I'm doing with the lovely Steph Rogers, and in where you could send your name to her. I'll tell you more about that. Don't do it now. I'm just letting you know if that piques your interest. I'm going to ask you to send your name to Steph in a little bit, and you could have a free workshop. You know what I mean?
Pretty cool.
I don't want to like lower the value by calling something free, but I'm not much of a marketing guy. In this case, it'll be free.
That's
Here we
okay.
go.
They're getting something amazing with that. So
It'll be fun. They'll learn a little bit. They'll have some fun. They'll meet a few people. We'll have a showcase. It'll be great. All right. Let us roll into our final section here of round one. Michael, Neshama, Francesca, and finally, Arlene. In that order. Let us find Mr. Michael. He is out west somewhere. So it's probably still light where he is.
I would think.
Right?
I would think. All right.
There he is, Michael. Take your time. And when you start,
There
I'll
we go. Let me get my gallery view back on here. I was single, 30, and had just been accepted into the Big Brothers of King County program here in Seattle. Now, my married friends at the time doubted my ability to actually be responsible for another human being for a few hours every other week and actually get them back to the family without missing any limbs. So when Big Brothers called me and said they had a very special situation for me to be a Big Brother, and I got a little nervous. Here's what it was. A single mom with 5 kids, and the family was in some dire straits. The 3 oldest kids were not American citizens. The 2 youngest were, and they asked for my commitment for at least a year. I said yes, and 4 years into it, Herman, my little brother, he still had all his limbs, first of all. And one night at dinner, Maria, the mom, grabbed me, took me by the side and said, "Hey, Mike, I have a favor to ask." And she pulled me aside, said, "Mike, I have a chance to get the 3 oldest kids to be American citizens. Can you lend me $2,500 for legal fees and government fees here in the United States?" I thought about it for a day, and the next day I came back with a check for $2,500, and I told Maria, "I don't want to ever talk about this money again. I'm giving it to you when you're ready to come back to me. You tell me your plan, even if it's 20 years from now." 18 months later, I'm at their house for dinner again. Maria taps me on the shoulder again, says, "Mike, may I talk to you?" She pulls me aside without saying a word. She hands me an envelope, and in that envelope are 25 $100 crisp dollar bills. She doesn't say a word and just says, "Mike, the 3 will now be American citizens." Boom.
Thank you, Michael. All right, that was Michael. He's out in the Pacific Northwest.
Seattle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He might be our only person in that part of the country this evening. I'm not sure. We have a few people from the Pacific time zone, but I think he's the only one in that part of the country.
Representing Seattle.
Indeed. Now, representing Northern California is Neshama. So if we can find Neshama and spotlight her, she will tell her story. Take your time, Neshama.
We weren't intending to get married. I was only 19 years old. But John and I, we had been living together, and this was back in the 50s when nobody did it. And not only that, we were working together at the registrar's office of Columbia University. My old nanny, who'd moved up in the world, had gotten this job for me. I was virtually unemployable. And every time I passed her desk, she would mutter, "When are you going to get married?" And so I finally turned to John and I said, "Amelie thinks we should get married. You think we should get married?" And he said, "Yeah, I guess we could get married." And when I told my mother this, she was over the moon. Her renegade daughter was going to do something conventional and respectable. And she took that show and she ran with it. And this is how she arranged the honeymoon. We got into the convertible, my parents' convertible. We drove up to Connecticut, to Fox Hill Inn, and it really looked romantic. There was a piano playing in the lobby and a curving staircase that took us to our room. And in this room were 2 separate beds. Ridiculous, right? Not really. We put them together, and for the next 35 years, till death did us part. We had the best sleepover in a double bed you can possibly imagine. Ooh.
Thank you, Neshama, representing Northern California this fine evening, Sunday evening, April 18th. Queen Mary, is it just me, or, and I know I don't want to be cliche here, but does time move very quickly?
You know-
Perhaps more so than it used to?
Yeah, I was actually looking at the time tonight and I was like, wow, the time is flying. I think it's because there's such great stories. When you enjoy yourself, the time flies, which is what's happening.
I like that connection you just made. I like what you just did there. I love that. By the way, storytellers and audience, keep checking out and sharing on chat. I see a lot of chats. I don't have the opportunity, unfortunately, to see them all, but a lot of story love being sent your way. I know it's not the ideal way to do this. Even a year in, most of us would rather be at a live venue. I know.
It's true.
It's a different energy, and you can hang out and shoot the shit and have a drink or have a coffee. We're doing the best we can. So the chat is one way to sort of mitigate that a bit.
Yeah. But
All
I
right,
think
cool.
everybody loves our 99-second stories here. So, you know.
Indeed. 100%. You don't wink a lot. I like when you do. You don't do it often. You do it. All right. I'm like, all right, she just winked. Okay, that's real.
Right.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to Francesca. We will find her and spotlight her. I don't know if she's in Illinois or Indiana. She bounces around, but it doesn't matter.
Actually, I'm in Santa Fe at the moment. but-
Perfect. Okay, that's right. That's right. All right, whenever you're ready.
I'm in New York City, the summer of 2015, doing an intensive theater training. I'm on the subway headed to class when it hits me. My husband is dead. He died 6 months before, but grief isn't linear. I start to sob. Then I become aware of something completely different. I am incredibly horny. It has been over a year since I've had sex. I swear I emanate a kind of feral smell. When I'm not crying to, from, or between class, I'm eyeing fire hydrants. I hop into an empty taxi and with wild abandon, I say to the driver, "Can you take me?" The driver looks at me with unbelievable blue eyes and says, "Yeah, I can take you." I am stuck somewhere between girlish giggle and choked sob. In spite of my total unreliability of what I might do naked, break into tears or succumb to total desire, I start thinking about it. The driver begins to tell me in exacting detail just how he would go down, where he would kiss me, yes, for how long, yes, I meant, no, stop, I meant, no, shit, Jesus, now I understand the purpose of sexual innuendo, a safe word, because all I will come out of my mouth is sexual innuendo. I have to struggle to come up with an adult sentence. I'll get out at the next corner, please, thank you. You sure, baby? How about if I give you my number in case you change your mind? Yeah, okay. What's your name? Rod? Rod? I get out of the cab. And for the first time in a long time, rather than cry, I laugh all the way home. Boom. I went over.
Thank you, Francesca. Hang on, you don't know that yet. What we do before I like your awareness. Now, it should be said, and this is a good time to say it. Sometimes 99 means 99. Sometimes Queen Mary and I agree on a number that is not much more. We don't want to give too much cushion. And that's what we work from. But we don't tell the tellers because, of course, we would just get extended and extended.
Exactly.
So I'm going to ask you to wait until Arlene Malinowski finishes her story. And then I will let you know I'm really doing a doozy on you here. Because that cab ride wasn't tough enough.
Right.
And I will let you know, and I will be fair to you and everybody else and be consistent. I promise you that. No games. Arlene, wherever you are.
I'm right here, honey.
Okay, whenever you're ready, we're ready for you.
We had guarded that secret like it was a magician's trick because Crazy and Unstable does not get to work at the Goodman. It does not get to go to fancy party. The only thing that Crazy and Unstable gets is judged. It's been 3 years and meds were added and added again and changed. There were yellow pills and blue pills and rainbow pills, but I was still so depressed. The bed became my shroud and my sanctuary. Don't tell anyone, please don't tell anyone. I dream of Sylvia Plath and bell jarring, I want to die every single day. And then I hear my husband on the phone. It's bad. We need to call someone. We can't get into anyone. What are you doing? I told you, keep it a secret. Now everything is spoiled. But he keeps calling friends and family. And I keep hyperventilating. They say he's a psychopharmacologist. He's not taking any new clients, but he's making an exception for you. You have spoiled everything. And I go. And depression like mine just doesn't go away. But by releasing that secret into the blue, I was saved. Boom.
Thank you, Arlene. Always has one of the more interesting booms, does. I always like this. Certain tellers have certain booms. Yeah. So let's just say right now for the record that the number that was determined for this Grand Slam and other slams, and it changes, will allow for all of our tellers to be voted upon. They will all be in the poll.
Yay.
We're keeping it consistent, no games. Anybody who knows me knows I don't really have a problem bouncing somebody, even if they, I don't.
No, you
But
don't.
we made an agreement and we're sticking to it. So what of our 4 storytellers, when you're ready, please blurb us out and I will try to do it justice.
You got it. So Michael made sure that not only did his little brother keep all of his limbs, but also his other brothers and sisters became American citizens. Neshama had the best sleepover with her husband for 35 years because she was a renegade daughter who did something conventional by getting married. Francesca noticed that grief isn't linear, but had a very interesting taxi ride with someone named Rod. And Arlene said crazy and unstable doesn't get you anywhere, but releasing the secret made her life be saved.
How would I put, what would you choose for a few words for Arlene's story? I want to get this right.
Depression secret.
Okay. Again, they've already heard the story. They've heard your summary. And now this is just a little bit extra, right? Just a little bit extra. And so remember, I'm going to save that. So what's going to happen now is you can do a final vote. 74 or 75 people max can vote, including the storytellers. We will take a break. We have a few announcements. We have I don't want to call it a raffle, a contest, I guess, another kind of contest, which we'll talk about. But it's an opportunity for people to stretch or do whatever they want to do. And then we will announce our second rounders, which will be all the winners of each section, and then 2 additional tellers will be put through by Mary and Steph. Here we go.
Launch it. Launch it.
All right, section 4, here we go. We've got Michael, Neshama, Francesca. I hope I'm saying that correctly, Francesca, and Arlene. Launching poll. All right. This is interesting, huh?
It is. It's
wow.
very interesting.
All right, so I assume as we look at these numbers, both Steph and Queen Mary have been doing whatever they do on their end, whatever system they might have. We've got about 10 more people who could vote, by the way. You've been doing whatever you do to sort of say, all right, I think this person's the person. I'm pretty sure for both of you, it's not an easy decision.
No, it sure isn't.
Right.
Sure isn't.
This one's got, let's give it another 15 seconds. So we'll take it to a minute, more than enough time for everyone to vote.
Yes.
That wants to vote. And we will wait to announce, of course, we're going to wait to announce the second rounders. Stick around. Now is the time to, and we're going to close this, okay?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, darling. I'm just getting it all down. I was looking for my vote. I was trying to figure out who I was going to vote for. It's going through my papers.
So yeah, no, I'm sure you, can I close this?
Yes, yes.
I'm
darling.
imagining that you have several names that could go through.
I'm telling you.
And you're going to have to make a choice, and Steph is going to have to make a choice.
Yeah.
We'll announce who's going through in about at 8:20. It's now 8:14 my time, Eastern Standard. So that gives me and Steph about 5 minutes, which I think is more than enough time to talk a little bit about our workshop. I do want to let the tellers know that. I know I typically give you an opportunity to sort of plug some stuff. I'm not doing that tonight. However, while Steph and I are talking about this and then asking for names, if you want to put a link in to something, a show you're doing, a show you're producing, whatever it may be, now is a good time to do that. So take about 30 seconds, think about what you want to share. You don't have to, of course, but I want to give you that option. And of course, afterwards, you can stay after we're done and talk more about what you're doing. But put that in the chat. Make sure it goes to everyone, not just me or Mary or Steph. And you'll probably see that coming through in a moment. Now, Steph Rogers, where are you?
Yes, Sean. Hello.
Can I spotlight you?
I mean, why don't we? Can you spotlight me and you? Whatever.
I'd rather just. I think I just spotlighted me. This is so April 2020. What I'm doing right now. I've been doing this shit for over a year, and I'm still making mistakes, Steph.
You're human.
I'm human. So Mary's doing some back end stuff, figuring out some things. Steph.
Yes.
Here's the deal. Question for you. Couple things. What makes a good? I'm putting you on the spot here.
Oh my God.
Everybody here knows what they think a good 99 is, and they're not wrong. You get to decide. I'm curious. What are a few things about 99s that you like? And then I'm going to ask you about this workshop, okay?
Here's something that I noticed that that people tend to do. This is a thought. They eliminate the pauses because they're so racing to get so much into the 99, so they forget that they can slow down in parts and speed up in parts.
Yep.
And there is the beauty of a 99-second story pause, because that's even more, it's more of a delicious pause than a regular pause, because you know that pause really means something in a 99-second story.
That's a good point. But it's understandable why people would race. Because hey,
Yes,
I've got
of
a lot. I gotta get it in, and Sean's a jerk. And for a couple of them, by the way, they did catch a break this evening in that we made a little more cushion than we normally do. Not much, because I don't want to give people too much or it becomes unfair. But hey, you know what? Good point. Anything else?
Well, there has to be a tight narrative, obviously. I mean, every single story tonight was so good. My sheet is covered in notes and numbers, and I'm having a very difficult time. And also, you know, and all of these people, I've seen them all tell stories. We've all seen them tell a lot of stories at this point, right? There are a couple newcomers, I think.
Nobody's completely new because everyone had to
get here.
Too. But there's definitely been more and more people who are new to the slams, and clearly they're not new to storytelling. They just happen to find this thing because they're so good.
They're so good. So there's so many ways to tell a 99-second story. I like it when somebody starts right in the action. I mean, what choice do you have? You have a limited amount of time. So you kind of have to be in the moment right there, starting right in there. But anyway, good luck to all of the contestants. I think everybody is so good, and the stakes just keep getting higher and higher and higher. And remember when you were entering our Story Jam, 90-second contest, and you kept winning them, Sean. You were winning them again and again and again.
It's a gift.
And then you decided to start your own slam, and here we are now. And
I stole everything Steph worked 2 years for, changed the name, tweak the format, but that's why I want you as part of this. I mean, that's something I like you, but I'm just saying it would be cool that's one of the reasons why we're teaming up. And do you want to? So here's what we're going to do right now.
No.
If you are on this Zoom meeting, you are eligible to get a free workshop with us. I understand some people might not have an interest in that, and others may think they might not need it. But Steph, did you disappear?
No, I'm totally here.
Okay. So what I want you to do, if I can because I've talked enough, can you share with people the overview of what we're going to do, and also like when it is?
Of course.
They have to be available. And then what I'm going to ask them to do once they hear this is, if they're interested, just send to Steph. You can do this right in the chat. You should be able to go to the chat and just put Steph's name. If not, let me know. And just send to Steph your name. And then by the end, she'll have time to then do what she does and pick a name. But can you give us an overview?
Of course. Well, you and I are going to run a workshop,
Yeah.
but obviously everyone in here is already extremely advanced at
Correct.
storytelling. So this is an advanced kind of situation. There will be a few people in there who are newer at 99-second stories, but basically it's just a chance to practice a bunch of stories and get a little feedback. And that's it. It's just practice, practice, practice. And the more you practice a 99, the better you get. We're going to run through some things that we've noticed tend to work, and we're all experts together, so we're all equals, but we're observers, and we're trying to elevate this format and make it even better than it already is.
So it's going to be 2 Tuesdays, Tuesday evening, and 2 of them consecutively, and they're large chunks of time. So it gets 2.5 hours and 2.5 hours and a showcase. We're not sure exactly what it looks like because it in part depends on the number of people that are involved. But I think it's going to be fun. I think people are going to learn. And I think with their permission, of course, we will use some of these tellers and their stories as models of like, here's what's working and here's what's working specifically about that, right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
We're just going to practice, basically. We're going to do a lot of practicing. I'm so excited. So we already have a bunch of people signed up, and we're going to just kind of go intense and do as many as we possibly can in the 3 weeks.
Indeed. So now, tellers, if you've already put your link into your stuff, great. Everybody else, and this is for anybody here, put your name in the chat to Steph Rogers only. It'll make it easier. And we'll give that about a minute. I'll announce it one more time, maybe as we're winding up before you reveal the name, just because people might be in the bathroom. Send it to Steph. Feel free to ask any other questions you have. The Neshama, the time's going to be, Steph, what do we have the time as? It's 2 consecutive Tuesdays. It's actually starting this Tuesday. Am I right?
It's starting this Tuesday.
Very soon, yeah.
In 2 days from now. So it's 6:30 start time. That's Central, and then 7:30 for the East Coast folks, which would be 4:30 for the West Coast folks, right? And
correct.
Pacific time is 4:30, Mountain time is 5:30, Central time. I sound like such a professional, don't I? We've gotten used to this switching time things. Who knew any of this a year ago, right?
If anybody knows Steph, she knows she's also juggling like 17 different awesome workshops at one time. So yeah, understandable. All right, so send it to Steph. She'll be noticing that. In the meantime, Steph, what I need you to do is to send me, this is not something you're going to make public in this moment, who you're putting through. So take a break from the 99 workshop thing. Send me what I need. Everybody else, we got about a minute left. We're going to start up with our second round soon. Of course, we're going to announce who's going through. We're going to hope that everybody stays and enjoys the rest of these stories. I will say this, and I've said it before, but each time I mean it more, and I do mean it this time. There will be many storytellers and stories that will not make the second round, period. And it sucks. I kind of almost wish I had an open mic sometimes.
Right.
Because I'm like, man, I don't want to, but we're going to put people through. And that's that. And then we'll have a second round and we will have a winner. And this particular Grand Slam, the way we structured it, this is winner take all. We will announce one person who won. They will get the moolah. And that's that. So Steph, I'm waiting on you. No pressure. All right.
Wait, am I still spotlighted? Because I'm seeing myself. I don't.
Well, you're the pretty one between me and you. So why would I not spotlight you?
You're pretty on the inside.
Thank you. Just unspotlight. You're a co-host. Unspotlight yourself.
Mary's the pretty one between all of us.
Oh, stop.
Because you're pretty inside and outside. Okay.
All right, I've got 6 names. I want to announce them. And this time we are not doing it beforehand. So we're just going to pick one from the hat like we old school. But I'll let you know the 6 people. And there's no order here. There's no random. Are we all here? What a damn shame it would be if somebody weren't here. But that's fine. We have plenty to tell us. We'll step in their place, I'm sure.
Sure.
Here we go. In no particular order, the 6 storytellers going through the second round, which will begin momentarily, are Shweta in Massachusetts, Andrew in Massachusetts. You see a pattern here. Richard in Las Vegas, Francesca, who is currently residing or staying in Santa Fe. Christel, our international contestant, which is so unfair. She's in Toronto, but she's representing the rest of the world. And our last one will be Tori, who is in Pittsburgh, I believe. Those are your 6. As I've said before, I know there are many stories and storytellers who are now in a position only to be audience/voters. Please stay.
Please.
You all did great, and I mean that. Steph, do I blow smoke up people's ass? Come on.
Yes, you do.
Oh, wait, that's not what you were supposed to say.
I'm sorry. No, you do not.
Okay. You missed the rehearsal, Steph.
I did miss the rehearsal. You don't blow any smoke.
No, it's all good. So those are the people that are going through. And then we will be tweaking things a little bit as we move forward after this Grand Slam. For future slams, we're going to keep doing the 99s. They're going to look similar. We might play with format. We might collaborate a little bit and make some cool shit. But names are going in the Peruvian hat. Mary, you're back.
You know what that means?
Mary,
I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mary, what I am going to ask.
Yes, darling.
Once again, is to you do this role that you do so well, which is as the, among other things, of course, the summarizer.
Of course.
After the 6 stories are told, we'll blurb them if they don't go over time. Right. And of course, we're gonna, And I almost said something I didn't want to say.
Ooh.
And then I'm gonna give you, Queen Mary, as always, the honors of announcing the winner.
Oh, that's fabulous. My crown's ready. So
awesome. Here we go. Here we go. Round 2, Grand Slam number 3. Peruvian hat is here.
Yes.
By the way, I'm wondering why. I'll just give the answer like Jeopardy style. You can ask the question. Pinot Grigio.
What are you drinking tonight, Sean?
Well done. Thank you. I'm not going to say if it's boxed wine or not.
I bet you it's boxed.
First storyteller, round 2, Grand Slam number 3, live from Pittsburgh, Tori Shine. Let's find her, spotlight her. Take your time, Tori Shine. Did we find Tori? You are found not. Yes, there you are. Take your time, Tori.
When Christopher died, he left so many boxes, and somebody had to go through them. With Sister Lauren, she and I decided we would do it together. And so there I am with Christopher's sister, going through my dead boyfriend's boxes. We find all of his old childhood keepsakes. We find all the letters I'd written him. And we find porn. So much porn. Jesus, Christopher. Weird shit too. God, Lauren and I, we've been crying for days, but every time we find another stack of these DVDs, we both just crack up laughing. And we keep throwing them away. At one point, Lauren turns to me and she says, maybe you should keep one, to remember him by. Yeah, right. But then I thought, what the hell? And I reach into the garbage bag and fish one back out, stuff it in my backpack. I haven't watched it, but I still have it. I think maybe one day I'll be feeling just that right mix of emotions. And I'll pull out Sluts, Virgins, and Twins number 6, pop that sucker in, and rub one out for Chris. Boom.
Thank you, Tori. All right, Mary. It's round 2.
Round 2
of the Grand Slam.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's fair for me to say shit's getting real.
Super real.
I mean,
I know.
You and Steph are off the hook. I mean, of course, you're going to be helping out as you do, and I appreciate it. But this is going to be audience poll, one winner, done.
That's it.
And I wouldn't be surprised if, like the other polls, it's really freaking close.
I know it's going to be super close.
It's going to be close.
It is.
It's going to be close. So we currently have, by the way, 72 people here. I could not be more appreciative and thankful that you showed up and you're supporting the storytellers. And whether it's a little entertainment, whatever the reason you're here for. Because by the way, it's getting a little bit more challenging to get people, understandably, to Zoom events. So the fact that you all came, I don't know.
I know.
Feel good about that.
I do too, but I think this group's going to stay with us, Sean.
You think?
Yeah, I absolutely do.
Follow the. All right, cool.
I do.
Storyteller number 2. We're going from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, out to Santa Fe, New Mexico. Francesca, when you are ready, we are ready. Have we found Ms. Ez? There she is.
Got her, Sean?
I got her. All right, Francesca. Whenever you're ready.
The fall of 1991. I am in my 3rd week of wearing pajamas all day, every day. Not a fashion statement, a standoff. It's hard to say who's winning. My husband for not noticing that I am still wearing my pajamas, or me for not pointing out, have you noticed I'm still wearing my pajamas? My mother said I came into this world wearing white gloves. I put clothes together to look effortless, not to match so much as to complement. How did I become this woman stubbornly wearing pajamas to the grocery store? It's 6 a.m. My husband has already left for work. He won't be home until after dark when I'm putting the kids to bed. My 3-year-old son, Ryland, crawls into bed with me. I turn away from him so he won't know that I've been crying. He slips his little arm under and around my neck. His hand brushes against my chapped lips. He then licks the fingers of his other hand and gently wipes his wet fingers across my dry lips. In that moment, I think, I have never known such pure love. In that moment, I realize my son deserves the mother he was born to, the one who gives a damn how she dresses. It takes time to find the courage to leave the father of your children, about 6 months. On the day I said goodbye, I was wearing a nice pair of blue jeans and a simple cotton top. Boom.
Thank you, Francesca. Santa Fe. Mary, I have been to Santa Fe once. It's not a bad area. I have to say, I don't know what I thought it was going to be, but I was slightly disappointed. I don't know why. I had built it up into this like oasis of perfect, like spiritual bliss and desert oasis. And it was great. It just wasn't what I thought it was.
Wow. So that talks about expectations.
It doesn't it?
It does.
And interestingly, I've never been to Pittsburgh where Tori lives. Or if I have, I've been like through it.
You've been through, like at an airport or something.
3 rivers, boom. Saw the rivers, left.
That was it. But Peru has brought back wonderful memories and hats. So
Indeed. So Tori and Francesca, we've got 4 more, and then we will be naming a champion. Before we do that, Steph will tell us which person here, and I do hope you got some names, Steph, but not yet. But you will tell us before I say the winner's name who's getting the free workshop. Is that cool?
It better, yes. What choice do I even have?
None. And by the way, I'll remind everyone a few more times because you may have been not hearing me at the moment. Send directly in the chat to Steph Rogers your name if you want to be in this raffle or contest or whatever you want to call it for a free 99-second workshop. It's going to be fun. I like fun. Here we go. Number 3, Shweta. Let's find Shweta and spotlight her, and then we will stop talking. By we, I mean me.
Hello.
Where is she?
We're going to find you, girl. I gotcha.
Get her. Boom.
Right. I was sitting at lunch with my diagonally cut peanut butter and jelly sandwich on wheat. And I looked to my right where I saw the girls that I tried to dress the same as, that I tried to do the same as, that I tried to talk the same as, but knew I would never be the same as. See, they were choking back tears of laughter because they were mimicking how I was about to take a bite. Now, it wasn't lost on me that I had a 13 millimeter overbite. Yep, that's 1.3 centimeters of distance from my bottom jaw to my front 2 teeth. I saw it every day in a mirror. I never had to smile because my teeth were constantly out of my mouth. But today, as I turned my head away, I felt something wet coming down my cheek. And before I could acknowledge what it was, the boy to my left asked, Shweta, are you crying? No. No, I already had glasses. I already had a little mustache. I already had 13 millimeters between my bottom jaw and my front 2 teeth. A tear? Yeah, a tear was going to be too much. So I ran to the bathroom. I slammed the door open. I put my hands on the sink, looked down, took a deep breath, looked up in the mirror. I saw where my tears met my teeth. And at 8, I promised myself they would never see me cry. Boom.
Thank you, Shweta. Queen Mary, I told you, Tori, Francesca, Shweta, shit's getting real here. It's getting real. Shweta's up in Massachusetts, by the way. She might be a neighbor of yours. She might literally be down the block from you. I have no idea. I mean, you're muted, by the way, Mary, but you're much better when I can hear you.
God, oh God, I'm sorry.
I've never seen your tats, by the way. I love them.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I usually wear long.
All right, I'm inspired.
It was the Grand Slam. I had to show them off.
Fuck yeah, you do.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yes, it's time.
It's time.
Is it not? Here we go. Remember, after we announce who's getting the free workshop and who wins, hang out, talk some shop, chat, this, that, the other thing, boom, boom. Yes, it was boxed Pinot Grigio. Yes, you got me. Busted. Okay.
I know it was.
Vegas, Munchkin, find him, spotlight him. Let's do it, Mr. M. Where are you?
I'm here.
All right, we're good. Whenever you're ready.
Oh, hold on just a moment. I think you've spotlighted yourself. Oh, there you go. Okay, sorry. I'm 14 years old and I am drying marijuana in the oven when my younger brother yells, "Oh shit, Dad's home." And I go and I look out the window and sure enough, his car has just pulled up in front of the house. And I'm like, what is he doing home? He's never home in the middle of the day. And I'm 14. I hate my dad and I'd rather he never comes home. But now what are we going to do with this pot in the oven? And my friend Snoopy, he opens the oven and grabs the cookie sheet in his bare hands, burning the shit out of them, and runs down to the basement. And my dad comes in and he goes, "What's that smell?" And I say, "Oh, I was cooking something and it fell in the burner." And he says, "What were you cooking?" And the only thing I can think of was hot dogs. And he says, "Oh," and he goes in his office and he gets some files and he leaves. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I got away with that. But I thought, you know what? My dad's old. He doesn't know what pot smells like. And so many years later, I meet a guy and the guy says, "Is your dad a lawyer?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, he told me this hilarious story about coming home in the middle of the day and you were drying pot in the oven." You know, when my kids were teenagers, every time they did something where my head was going to explode, I would think about my dad and how would he handle that situation. He died 13 years ago, and I think about him all the time, and I miss him. Boom.
Thank you, Mr. Richard Munchkin in Las Vegas. I don't know if I spotlighted myself, but I'm sure I did. Probably subconscious. I really want to be the center of this fucking thing, don't I, Mary? I mean, let's just call a spade a spade.
Well, I mean, you do like the attention for more than just your good looks.
The good looks is just a gift that my parents gave.
Right, right. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
As are the dimples.
Right.
They stop.
But the glow is all you.
The glow is the beach and a little Pinot Grigio and whatever else. Yeah. So Tori, Francesca, Shweta, Richard, I'll say it again. What is it? What? Hashtag shit's getting real.
Shit's getting real.
Trying to be like an Instagram influencer over here. It's not working out.
No.
Mm-hmm.
More
all
Pinot
right.
Grigio is needed.
What's that?
More Pinot Grigio is needed, maybe.
Probably so. We've got 2 more tellers. They know who they are. I'm picking from the Peruvian hat. We will then poll it. We will have a winner. Before we announce the winner, we will announce who's getting the free workshop. Next up, Andrew Shelffo. Let's find Andrew and spotlight him. Where is? Oh, there he is. He's right in front of me. Boom.
Getting my timer ready. It's the first year of my doctoral program, and I'm taking a class on the author Willa Cather. And I'm taking it with the preeminent Cather scholar, who's a genteel Southern woman who reeks of charm, but in the classroom, she demands precision in both thought and written word. It's our first class, and we're getting ready to discuss O Pioneers. This Cather novel is set on the Nebraska plains, and it features the Bergsons, a Swedish-American family that immigrates to Nebraska and then begins farming. We're all sitting around a table, and the message is that we're all equals, but I'm intimidated by the professor, and I'm intimidated by everybody else there. The professor starts the class with a question. Okay, who would like to discuss the sexual imagery in the novel? Sexual imagery? It's a novel about farmers in Nebraska. There wasn't nothing sexual about it. I'm telling you, nothing. We all look at each other, and then we start furiously looking through our notes and our books for information that we know isn't there. The professor then says, I'm thinking specifically about the opening of the book. The opening of the book. I have no idea what she's talking about. She sighs and says, okay, would anybody else like to tell us what happens in the opening? One brave soul raises her hand and says, well, in the opening of the book, there's a young boy who's 5 years old, and he's upset because his cat is stuck at the top of a telegraph pole and won't come down. She thanked the student and then looked around expectantly. Nobody said anything. And then I feel her anger kind of building. So I get my pen ready because I know she's about to say something that I need to remember. And she slams her hand down on the table and she says, that's a pussy on a pole, people. Boom.
Thank you, Andrew. Mary, if my math is correct, Andrew was the 22nd story we've heard. You can't do that with 5 or 7 or 10-minute stories. Eventually, you just can't. But with 99s, you can.
Totally can. Totally have. Totally will.
And indeed, and which means since summer when this thing started, it's hundreds.
Oh yeah.
Of stories, and yeah, we've heard so many good stories.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final one, Christel. Yeah, this is it.
This
After
is it.
this, you blurb and they vote.
And they vote. And
Christel, where are you? Where find you? Mary, we found Mrs. Christel.
We have.
All right, cool. All right, Christel, take your time.
Whoa, are you my teacher, bitch? In my 10-year history of teaching, I'd never been spoken to like that. That was my introduction to Brian. It's my first day of my comedy course. All my new students seem keen and eager. 45 minutes later, Brian kicks open the door, ogles me up and down, says, are you my teacher, bitch? And is disruptive for the next hour. Yeah, it's hilarious. As soon as class is dismissed, I run over to my boss's office. What's up with Brian? Yeah, he just got out of prison. I thought we'd give him a second chance. Yes, I'm all for second chances, but there's something off with this guy. Over the next 2 months, I have to deal with Brian. He's chronically late, he's rude, he's disruptive, he says misogynistic things under his breath about me and the other female students, and even the male students are intimidated. And if I try and give Brian some constructive criticism, he looks like he wants to stab me. Finally, I can't take it anymore. So after a few more weeks, I put in a formal complaint to get Brian kicked out of college, which you should know, getting kicked out of college is harder than getting in. I'm at my human rights tribunal. There's 4 panelists. And of course, I'm there to discuss Brian's eviction. But then Mark, the very serious head of HR, says, we're here today to discuss the complaint Brian put forth towards you. You've been constantly badgering him, apparently, to sleep with him, and you keep asking for his phone number. And the fact that you won't give it to him is why he thinks you're going to kick him out. I am so enraged, but I just laugh, and I walk out of that room. I do anything for my students, but if Brian stays, I leave. Boom.
Thank you, Christel in Canada. Ending it with passion.
Mm-hmm. That was a boom. That was a
We had
boom.
a lot. We had 23 booms this evening.
We did. We did.
A total of 17 storytellers. Yet another phenomenal evening of 99-second stories. 6 storytellers, and I'm in a good mood because we can tell all of their blurbs, or you can, their names, their blurbs. I will do them justice as best I can, and then we will vote.
All right. So as Tori was cleaning out boxes of her boyfriend who's passed with his sister, she found a lot of porn and kept maybe Sluts, Virgins, Twins number 6. Francesca went from wearing PJs stubbornly around the house to wearing lovely blue jeans and a nice shirt to say goodbye to her husband and give her son the mother that he deserves, that he was born with. Shweta made sure that at 8 years old, those girls in school would never let them see her cry. Richard, Dad's knew, even though he didn't think Dad knew. Dad knew he was drying marijuana in the oven at 14. Andrew, I'll just say pussy on a pole. Is that good? Pussy on a pole? All right. And Christel, she would do anything for her students, but if Brian, that student who was disruptive, stayed, she was gone. Boom.
All right, I have done my best, as always, to, add a couple words here or there that kind of do what you, again, they've heard the stories. They've heard you.
Yes.
They'll see this. One more quick reminder, right? Fair. I think this is fair. Don't vote unless you heard the stories. And vote for your favorite story. And then we will have a winner. Shall I launch this final Grand Slam 3 poll? We will have a winner. Here we go. Momentarily. And we have upwards of 66 or 7 that can vote. I hope you do. Tori, Francesca, Shweta, Richard, Andrew, Christel. Here we go. All right, we've got the numbers coming in. We'll give it like another 15 seconds.
All amazing stories. I can see how it's hard to vote.
Yep.
Just one.
All right. Let's give it 10 more seconds. We'll do a full minute. Steph, we can do a spin after this.
Yeah, let's do a spin. Yeah.
Hang on. I'm going to close this poll.
All right.
A couple more people could vote if they wanted to. I think we have a winner.
You do.
We do, right?
I absolutely think we do.
Cool. I'm gonna end that. All right. So Steph, tell me what you're thinking before we announce the winner. What are you thinking about? What are we doing? Spinning?
We're going to spin the names of the people who were interested in jumping to the 99. And I have a little wheel of names spinner. So if I share screen, we can see that. Is that good with you?
Are you able to share your screen?
Certainly can. Are you ready?
Ooh.
So if I spin this lovely thing here, we're going to find out.
Is this the winner?
This is the winner. Oh, it was almost Rana, but it's Tori. Did I spell it right? I hope I did. Congratulations, Tori. We will see you on Tuesday night. For everybody else, anybody who wants to come, I'll include the link in the chat.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks for the names, guys.
All right, so those are 12 people that wanted to do it.
That's awesome.
And one gets to do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So we have another awesome evening. Thank you very much. Let us not delay this anymore. Queen Mary, we will be, you will, in the next 11 or 12 seconds, revealing the winner of Grand Slam 3. You've got 6 names to choose from. You're not really choosing because the audience voted.
They did.
So whenever you are ready, we are ready. And please tell us who the winner is.
You guys, what an amazing set of stories. I know it was really hard to choose, but our girl up in Canada, Christel, congratulations.
Woo! Thank you.
Good job, Christel.
Thank you, everyone. Wow. Thank you.
You are a Grand Slam champion. I don't know if you know this, Christel. We are the largest storytelling organization in the world. What you're seeing here right now is being seen by 17.7 million people. So we make or break people, and we just made you. 20% is always the ongoing rate. I'm just playing around. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Good job. Good job. You seem, how do you feel right now? Wow, you seem pretty pumped up.
I'm really surprised and shocked. It was an amazing night. And yeah, things have all been going wrong recently for me. So this is really nice. Thank you. And we're in major lockdown in Ontario, and it's just, yeah. So this is exciting. Thank you.
Well done. And well done to all of our finalists and everybody who was here, who told a story, whether it was one or two. And thank you to everybody who came. So let's officially say good night. And I want to thank Steph and, of course, Queen Mary. And I will stop recording and stop the live. And anyone who wants to hang out and have a drink and unwind, we'll have a 99 Boom Room salon. All right?
That sounds great. Oh, salon. Yes.
I like that.
I like that.
As long as you will, as long as you keep showing your tattoos, we can do this.
I'm totally, I'll keep my hands up.
That was so fun. That was so fun. What a good